What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Keeping Up with the Commanders. Today, we have on Commander Superfan and co-founder of the Hogfarmers, which is a charity organization that helps kids with pediatric cancer. Chris Bryant, welcome to the show.
Hey man, thanks for having me on, Mason.
No
It's been a
problem.
little
Yeah.
while, but I finally got on.
Yep. All right. So first things first. This February, of course, the big change, the rebrand. It's been a lot of adjusting for Redskins, then football team, then Commanders fans over the last few seasons. How did you adjust to the team name, which switched twice in a matter of 2 years?
I mean, to be honest with you, it wasn't that hard of an adjustment for me.
Mhm.
I used the writing was on the wall for years for the name to change, so I kind of braced myself. We all loved that name for many years, but it wasn't as hard for me. I love the team more than I love the name. I love football, so it's not like I could just walk away from it. So I just had to try to embrace it. So it wasn't that hard for me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It wasn't. I mean, for me personally, I've been into football my entire life, but I really got started into it in like 2012, 2013. So I wasn't a Redskins fan or big into football for that long. So for me, it wasn't really that hard either.
Right.
Um, yeah. This week, or I guess 2 weeks ago, training camp has begun. Football is back. Fans can now watch the team play at practice at the facility. First preseason game is this week for the
Yeah.
Commanders. Who is someone in training camp so far that has stood out to you in terms of their performance?
Uh, I haven't watched too much into it. I usually just kind of just hang out with everybody.
Mhm.
Uh, I would probably say a standout in training camp. I don't know, man. I haven't really paid that much attention to it, to be honest with you.
That's okay.
I don't know. I don't even have an answer for you.
That's okay. Yeah. For me, I think it's like I've heard a lot of good things about Jahan Dotson, first of all. I mean, I've heard
Yeah,
he's come as advertised with his hands so far, so I really like him. And also I feel Montez Sweat is bound for a breakout season. I know he's been good in the past, but I think he's gonna have an incredible like double digit sacks type season if he can stay healthy, from what I'm hearing from like the beat reporters and stuff. So I think both of them are going to be doing great this season. Last season, the Commanders had a lot of lingering injuries happen in camp with like, Curtis Samuel. And then in the season two, yeah, season two, like Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Well, Chase Young wasn't really lingering. That's kind of immediate. But
right.
do you, the plan here for the Commanders this season or this training camp has been ramping Curtis up, ramping Curtis down, ramping Curtis up again, and then ramping Curtis down. How do you feel about the way that they are using Curtis Samuel here in camp?
I would say that. I don't know their plan. I mean, we
Mhm.
see their plan, but to think it's not worrisome. It is worrisome that it's been a whole over a year and he's still having to have this type of plan.
Mhm.
We really need him in our offense, so I'm just hoping whatever this plan is they're doing to gauge his level of participation, he's ready to go by week one. That's all I care about.
That's what I'm hoping for too, because they're saying they're doing this just to ramp him up back into football condition, but I don't really know. I don't know if that's the only reason why they
Right?
eliminated
Yeah,
Curtis Samuel.
yeah. We'll find
So,
out come week one or week two,
mhm.
whenever he plays.
Yeah, and I mean, on Saturday night they had the open practice at FedEx Field. Curtis Samuel did practice there after not practicing that much, I don't think, on Friday. So this is kind of the plan every other day. Have him practice every other on the other days. Have him like rest or stretch or
Right.
limited. So I think it's a good way that they're doing it. Just I don't know, the reasoning behind it is that great. And talking more about the wide receivers, we talked about Jahan Dotson. Terry McLaurin, of course, has done Terry McLaurin things. I mean, he's still looked incredible in camp. The chemistry between them and Carson Wentz has been a little bit iffy
Off.
lately
Yeah.
in the coming days.
Yeah.
You kind of starting to see it Wentz's inaccuracy a little bit,
Hmm.
which has started to become a little bit of a problem. But then you had last night where at the beginning it was pretty bad. But then as he got towards the end of practice, he was launching like 60-yard bombs downfield and hitting them in stride, and
Yeah.
an absolute dime to Jahan Dotson, who was like in between three defenders at one point. Do you think this is going to affect week 1? Do you think this will affect the play of offense?
I definitely think it will. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. They have to build that connection. And with Terry being out for his contract extension, he didn't get as much time as he wanted to. And so I think it'll take a little time. I hope that the coaches scheme, the right way to let Carson and that connection to work slowly. And then towards the later in the season, it's hot.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I mean, this team, they have the potential to go to playoffs and maybe even win a game or two, but just can they live up to the potential? That's the big key.
Yeah.
I'll say for sure.
Yeah.
All right, talking more about the wide receivers, because this is right now one of the best positions in terms of depth for the Commanders. In the past, Washington has taken 6 wide receivers. Sometimes they've done 7, but most of the time I feel it's been 6 wide receivers onto the 53-man roster. We know some guys like Curtis Samuel, of course, Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin. They're all going to make it. Cam Sims will most likely make it as well. Diami Brown. But that 6th guy that was going to make it is really up for grabs.
Right.
I feel like you have Dax Milne, you have Mark and Michelle, who has stood out here in the last few days. Who do you think will get that 6th spot?
I don't know, man. I think it really is a toss-up. I really think it's on who's proven the most to the coaches in camp up into this preseason game where they really get to see them play.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Dax Mills got some of them other receivers on his ankles, so
yeah,
he better be ready.
Mm-hmm. Milne also has that experience too with Washington that he was on the team last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's had the experience with Washington, so
yeah,
I think it'll definitely be him. Now, staying on the offensive side, the running backs has been one of the positions that hasn't been the strongest in camp. Ball security has really been an issue for Antonio Gibson and some of the other running backs as well, but mostly it's been Antonio Gibson. We saw it last year. I mean, we do have to remember that he came out of Memphis as a wide receiver, but entered the draft as a running back. Do you think this will be? Are you worried about Antonio Gibson at all come week 1? Because I am a little bit.
I don't say I'm worried about him. How many fumbles? How many fumbles has he had in the last 2 years? I don't think it's that many.
He had 1 in his rookie season, but then last year he had 6, which was the most 6? For a running back. Yeah.
All right. We drafted Brian. I like Antonio Gibson. Let me say that first. Mm-hmm. I think he's a beast, and I think he'll be running back 1. But I think we drafted Brian Robinson for a reason, and we do have J.D. McKissick. Mm-hmm. Somebody in that running back wheel is going to get cut, a surprise cut, and I don't want to say who I think it is, but it won't be J.D. McKissick. I think we have a good, decent running back core, and Carson Wentz will thrive from that.
Yeah, I think last season when Wentz was on the Colts, I think a big reason why he succeeded a lot was because they had Jonathan Taylor in the backfield and kind of the dual threat offense of the passing game, which was pretty solid, and then the running game was pretty solid.
But they also didn't have the greatest O-line. I think they were ranked 28th, the Colts, in pass pro and run block. So he's got a lot more to work with in Washington.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Speaking of the offensive line, we lost Brendan Scherf. He went to Jacksonville. We didn't get to see the debut. I was hoping we got to see the debut on the Hall of Fame night, but not this week. But now the offensive line, Sam Cosmi is going to be a solidified starter this year. You bring in Andrew Norwell, who's going to be a starter. How do you feel about the offensive line? It's looking pretty good, but it's kind of everyone except Scherf.
Yeah. I think Sam Cosmi will fit in like a shoe. He's ready. He up until he got injured. What was it? Towards the later of the season, I think the Tampa Bay game he got injured.
It was a little bit later.
But anyway, he'll be fine. The Andrew, the other guard, I haven't seen too much of him, so I'm a little nervous in that position. But overall, Chase Roulier, he's ramping back up, which puts Wes Schweitzer back at playing. I mean, he's a swing. He can swing pretty much anywhere. Yeah. So he's great. And Leno is just I've seen nothing but good things about Leno, his
Hmm.
hands and feet. So I think offensive line will be probably one of our best position groups,
Hmm.
or the best.
Yeah, I think they're definitely a little bit underrated by other
Yeah,
reporters and stuff coming into the season because
yeah,
Andrew Norwell, I haven't heard that much about him, but he
yeah.
was also like top 5 in run block last year, something like that. And
Okay,
I as in Jacksonville, and I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it.
right.
So,
What? There's another one, another guard that we
oh, Trey Turner. Trey
Trey
Turner.
Turner. So I haven't
Yeah.
heard much about him either.
Yeah, he's been a little bit injured. I think he's been on the side field a lot.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen with him
Yeah,
for sure.
but I would say, like I said, the offensive line coaches and Coach Rivera,
Hmm.
they make sure they have enough depth in that O line, and they manage it well to where it's like you're not even skipping a beat. Even when say Roulier was out, and even when Wes Spicer went down, the center position, Ismail came in and
Yeah.
like they didn't miss a heartbeat. So even with
Mhm.
injury plagues in the offensive line, hoping none happen this year, they manage it really well in that position.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's one of their it's been one of Washington's strengths the
Yeah,
last few years.
yeah,
There's something that's been consistent. All right, now I want to flip sides of the ball, talk about the defense a little bit. Starting here with the pass rushers and the defensive line. Well, this is looking like to be the last season of having all 4 of those first round picks
yeah.
there. I don't think we're going to be re-signing Deron Payne unless something happens, but I don't think he's going to be on the team next season. Do you feel confident in in the front 4?
Yeah, I think the talent's there. I think it's up to the coaching, the defensive coordinator to scheme it well. They're all first round picks, so the talent is there. They're all
Mhm.
beasts. So
Yeah.
we just need the coaches to call up the right schemes, man.
Hmm. I mean, they were drafted in the first round for a reason. So
Right.
I think, yeah, especially, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a wait to get Chase Young back from his injury. As I think Coach Ron said that it was going to be out for week 1.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see if he gets placed on IR or something come the time when I don't understand if you get put on IR right now, you're out for the season. But at some point, when you get put on IR, it becomes 3 weeks. I don't know when that deadline is, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see if he gets put on that because
I definitely think he misses a couple games, like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 games. Yeah.
mhm,
Because
yeah,
Coach Rivera has been adamant and expressed that he is going to miss a significant amount of time. So I don't think fans are jumping and fighting for him to be back by week 1 because of the expectations that the team has put out. So,
mhm,
but uh, the guy that's been filling in has not been
yeah,
bad. So
mhm,
he's not Chase Young. So that talent's irreplaceable. But we'll be fine.
yeah. I think we're gonna be fine on that front 4 as well. But when Chase does come back, that if it's a home game that time, FedEx Field is going to be jumping.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be
It's gonna
crazy.
be yeah. I think the depth for that is Casey Toohill and James Smith Williams, which have been
James
looking
Smith
pretty
Williams. Yeah, and two Hill.
solid.
Yep.
They've been looking pretty solid. And then the linebackers here, this is probably the weakest point for Washington, besides maybe the tight ends, which has come up a little bit recently
Yeah.
because of injury. But linebackers has really been a weakness for Washington in the last season or two. Do you think we should sign a veteran linebacker? Because personally, I think we should. I think we should.
I definitely think we should.
Mhm.
Cole Holcomb's a solid linebacker,
Yeah,
but Jamin Davidson, there's a lot of concerns from his rookie year to see how much he understands and how fast he can play in the year 2. So really I think it's on Davis to see how well he can play this year.
yeah. I think they are moving him to an outside type role, like an outside linebacker type role, kind of where Micah Parsons was last year,
Right.
coming into last year. So I think it'll be interesting. I remember the one play against the Giants in the season finale. It was like 4th and 1 or something, and Davis
Yeah.
used his speed to get to the edge and
Yeah.
tackle the running back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm pretty excited about that. If he can keep on doing some stuff like that, and they move him to the outside linebacker spot, I know that's not where they wanted him to be,
Right.
but if that's where he's better at, then I'm fine with it.
Put him there. Yeah.
Yep.
Put him there.
Yeah.
We'll
Cole
see.
Holcomb.
We'll see if they bring in some linebacker. I don't think the most of our free agent signings have been O line.
Yeah.
It hasn't been too much on the defense. So
Yeah. We had
we'll
F.A.
see.
Obata.
Yeah, we'll,
Yeah, F.A.
we'll
Obata.
see.
I don't know what's with it, like signing former Panthers players, but I mean, okay. We've signed a lot of depth pieces.
Yeah.
Moving on to the secondary. I think Benjamin St. Juste is bound for a good season this year. He
Yeah.
showed a lot of promise last season. I think he's going to be great. How do you feel about the cornerbacks?
Yeah, I think St. Juice, he's gonna be a stud in year two, man. He worked really hard to get back from his concussions last year and
Yeah.
a lot of off-season training. So
Mhm.
I think he'll be fine. Kendall Fuller, he's a great corner.
Yeah, he's
So
yeah.
I really like Kendall. So the
Mhm.
matching the two, but we'll see. We'll see how they do. I think they need to play as a good unit. So if they play these lines pressing, it'll make everybody look a little better.
Mhm. I think communication was one of the keys last year that even the players said wasn't there at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
And if you're not saying anything before the snap, they said you're doing something wrong
yeah.
because
Bobby McCain said that thing. Yeah,
and so I think I think they know what went wrong last year, and I think they know how to fix it, which I'm really excited for. You also have William Jackson III there as well, who in the number three. I love secondary players that are in single digits. I
yeah,
don't know why, but it's just so cool to me, and
yeah,
especially him wearing number three as well. It's pretty cool. So
yeah. William Jackson, he said he got more comfortable in
mhm.
the scheme because that from where he was in
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, the defensive scheme was a lot different. So he's playing a lot more man or
Yeah.
zone. He's playing a
No, it
lot
was
more zone. Yeah, a lot more zone last year. And I think you're right. The communication will be a lot better this year. So I'm hoping boys take everything out there. That's what I want.
yeah. I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Uh, final position here, the safeties. Bobby McCain, Cam Curl. I love these two safeties. They're two
Yeah.
young guys that I think both can have great seasons this year. And in a few years, I think we could really have one of the best safety duos in the NFL.
Yeah. I think they're a good tag team. The trial and error with Landon Collins last year kind of messed things up, trying to switch him from a safety to a linebacker. I think that kind of messed up the communication as well. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited about McCain and uh, Curl. So even
Yeah.
even Revis, when he gets his little bit of playing time, he makes it worthwhile.
Yeah. I think we're pretty solid at safety. Now we just
Yeah,
gotta pray here. No injuries this year, and
yeah,
we're gonna be fine. We got a
yeah.
pretty easy schedule. How many wins do you think we got?
At least 12. I'm going for
12.
12 wins. That's what I
Wow.
want.
Okay.
I want at least 12 wins. I want the team to win every year, but this year is it's a big year for the organization beyond just football. The new
Yeah.
brand. It's a pivotal year. So if we can get a positive season out of this with the new
Mhm.
brand and all that that came with it, it'll be nice. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Y'all got this.
I'm hoping for this as well. I think we can definitely hit double digits this year for it'll be the first time in what since like Kirk Cousins, I believe, that we hit
It's
double digit wins. I don't know.
it's been a while.
It's been a while, but I think this really is the year to improve, and I
We've
think
got one of the easiest schedules in the league. I
mhm,
mean, when in football, in NFL football, it's any given Sunday.
yeah,
The games you're supposed to win, sometimes you don't. Games you don't supposed to win, you win. We beat Tampa Bay. We
yeah,
the defending Super Bowl champs, and we went out there and beat them. So
yeah,
it's any given Sunday. Coach has to prep them every week to play and have them ready. So
mhm,
we'll see.
yeah. I'm excited about the game against Jacksonville.
Yeah,
It's my first year as a season ticket member, so I'm super happy to like go to all the home games this year
yeah, it's
and
gonna be fun.
watch the team play. So yeah. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the charity that you have co-founded, the Hogfarmers Charitable Foundation. They are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. They improve the mental, social, and emotional well-being of kids with pediatric cancer. Just tell us about the origins of how it came to be and who the
Yeah,
Hogfarmers
we're on year 4 now.
are.
We started in the late of 2018, or the middle of 2018. Just a bunch of guys just wanted to bring their fandom up, a little nice, just to wear something a little silly.
Yeah.
And then the goal was to try to help our community a little bit.
Hmm.
So we ended up doing a big fundraiser for a girl that had cancer. Her name was Abby,
Hmm.
and her parents run Charitable Foundation out of North Carolina. So we helped them. We got to meet Abby, and it was just like a match made in heaven. Like it just felt like something we needed to do. So we started our own charity to help children with pediatric cancer, and I mean here we are now on year 4, and it's we've affected the lives of hundreds, I mean even thousands of people, and that is the point of it. So I think we're doing pretty good. I mean, I to be honest with you, I say this all the time. I wish we didn't have to do this, because I wish no kid had cancer. But it's kind of just like a double-edged sword. I don't want them to have cancer, but if they do, that we want to help them and their families as much as we can.
Yeah, it's been great charity. I found out about them about a year ago, and the stuff that you guys have done just in the last year has been absolutely incredible. You guys have an Amazon Smile, which you can donate to. I'll have the link in the description of if you're listening to this on Spotify or on YouTube. Also have all of the socials for you and the charity. If you want to donate to them, I'll have that as well. It's been great talking to you, and thank you for coming on.
Yeah, Mason, it was really nice, man. I appreciate it. I'm ready for this season.
I'm ready for the season 2. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, see you guys in the next one. Peace.